I gotta get the lights. What you doing, little dog? Oh, I could turn this light on, huh? Medicine. How do I want to do this? I don't want those lights. Those lights are too bright. I think these are good. I like these little lights. I'm Gen X, and I used to stare inside a light bright. So now I live inside a light bright. There's this one. This one, I'll give you an example. We like to play with this one sometimes. This is old school. This is our OG light. I gotta make sure Bluetooth doesn't connect though. Let me turn it down. In case Bluetooth tries to connect. But I really feel like living in a light bright. Turn this on. Woo! There. This makes it like really living in a light bright. But we don't need to do all that. I'm not really up for all that today. That's a little bit too much stimuli. How much battery do I have? Let's disconnect that and give me a little bit more freedom to move. Wanted to do a talk about like attract like, because like is people are coming together with their like-minded. They're gathering. They're organizing. They're gathering. I just report on the stuff. I don't gather with them. I walk around and I fall down. So I don't go amongst the gatherings. So yeah, I freaking yesterday was so shitty for me. I'm just like, just take me, God. I just don't even know you. Mom will be fine without me. I freaking wiped out off my ankle, gave out, popped out. So I wiped out off a curb. And then I was throwing a tantrum. And I was like, I hate doing the dishes. Like, doing the dishes is the dumbest thing on the planet, I think. And so I was moving, and Mom wanted to wash her hair, because I asked her, Mom, you ready to wash your hair? And usually I'm like, I get no's. And then as soon as I get a yes, I jump on that. So I was clearing stuff out of the sink and freaking sliced my finger. Sliced with a big old grown-up knife. So I wiped out on my knee. I cut myself. What was the third thing? There was 3 things, and I was like, that's it. I'm just not gonna move. I'm not gonna move. So today my whole body hurts. Everything's all sore. But I'm compelled to share my experience, strength, and hope, because Lord knows there ain't a whole lot of people out there in the world. People are stuck in their loops. They know how to do that one thing, and anything outside of that is just beyond reproach. Moving on. Ma, you doing good today? Yeah? Want to show folks how nice your hair looks? Washed your hair? Well, we didn't brush it this morning. Bloop. Bloop. Say hi. How's your hair feel? Feel nice? Boop, boop, boop. I washed it just now. My hair's strong?
Yeah, you're strong. And you.
You? My hair?
Yeah.
Both strong?
They're both strong.
You know what I call my braid?
What?
My rattle.
Your rattle?
Yeah.
You didn't get your rattle in the eye.
She's cute. In case anybody doesn't know, Mom got her head slammed in a car door by a dude when she was 38 years old. I know my whole. That's one thing I can tell is a man that hates a woman. See, I never hated. People accuse me of hating men. I never hated men. I'm not a man hater because I have a lot of masculine energy in me, and I learned that a long time ago. So what I figured out is, if I were to hate men, then that would be parts of myself that I was hating, and that's stupid. Because we all have masculine and feminine energy. It's what we do with it. I don't really care. You know, the narrative of what planet Earth, what people are evolving to, is shifting and changing right now. And like people are lizards. You know, the blue bloods. Like the blue belly lizards. And that's fine. They could be lizards. They could be, you know, they could be whatever they want. Just what do they do with what they are? Are you doing more good than causing harm? Because there's plenty of human beings on planet Earth that are causing more harm than doing good. You know? And there's no humanity in that. A lot of people have read the Bible, started reading the Bible more, and coming. They're linking up because like attracts like. See, I'm like this little molecule that just kind of floats around the perception of reality, and then I get little tidbits from other people and their perceptions, and then based on their perceptions I create a sum of all parts as to how I see things are going to project in the future. And we've had everybody every day wakes up with their free will, you know, to do what's good for everyone or what's good for themselves. ISKCON, I don't know what ISKCON is, and I gotta tell you, I'm not much of a joiner. I don't join things anymore. See, look at look at all the trinkets I've got from joining things. I got big old awards and shit from being in the military. You get all this fucking parting gifts and shit. Like this was on the floor. This is a wooden brick. My life has changed. Okay, you welcome to my tube. My name's Marge and my Dayoka. I talk about stories about how my life has been a constant evolution because I followed my heart, my spirit, not my ego. So, yeah. So this wooden brick is from the floor of the Martin Bomber plant. Omaha, Fort Crook, Nebraska. This plant was built in 1941 and was designed for the manufacture of aircraft to support the United States WW2 war effort in all 1,585 B-26s and 531 B-29s were produced in this plant, including the famed Enola Gay and the boxcar. The purpose of the wooden floor was to eliminate the static electricity. If you don't know what planes those planes are the ones that drop the EMPs. So I don't believe I was in the Air Force. It's the Air Force. It's all EMP is. It's all energy-directed weapons. I don't think they ever once made no atomic bomb, but we're all the veterans that are talking about this. They weren't working on the H flight, though. They weren't working, you know, on flight line support, production support. They had, when I worked in production support at Offutt Air Force Base, they had They had this one center, this building, over off to the side, that had its own fuel source. And because it was on Offutt Air Force Base and it was under production of our realm, I had to find an MSDS for every single chemical compound agent that was in our jurisdiction. And so I had to track the origins of this fuel source in this one building. That fucking one pipe tracked all the way back to Texas. So if you don't think that people can do whatever they want to do and everything's a club and stuff like that, I'm here to tell you that it is. That America's a production put on by producers that get you to believe in freedom and democracy. They play movies, and then they get you to believe in that narrative by making us the instigator in places we have no business ever. And then they sell flags by going, look what we did for freedom and democracy. So let's buy flags and support these goofy holidays. While these military members are like, fuck, dude, we had no business there. It's all bullshit. You know, they have dry countries, equipment coming back from dry countries riddled with booze. Like, why do they make people stop at stop signs when there's international laws that are just obscured because the people don't want to follow the rules? Yet they make us, like, follow all these stupid rules and then put people in metal cages so people like my brother can make $240,000 a year from writing letters. That's all law is. You write a letter. Did you convince them that this is how it is? No? Okay. Let's write these words, and then we'll convince them how this is how. And then they do that back and forth, and then they charge themselves fake money to do these things. All of why a lot of people are in places they don't belong. Propaganda. First they make the movie, and then they create the event. It's like the movie, and then you go to the TV. So like the tracks life. I just look at planet Earth as little pockets of like-minded, right? You got like churches where people are of the same mind thought processes that like to gather. Basically, I used to go to AA meetings. That's like you gather there for the ultimate purpose of not drinking. But there's so many fucking politics and stuff like that. They all pretend like there's not. They all pretend like it's not. It's a bunch of freaking cult shit too. They all like to pretend. But they all say that it's not that way, and that's exactly how it is. It's been my experience. But the predictive programming exists. Plant the seeds in people's heads, and then they'll create the reality. You give people just like mundane things to look at. Where I live in New Mexico, there's people freaking. They don't value life very much here. They value death. They regard death. They like to like. Dude, kids here. I mean, the youth today are in trouble. If they don't start getting some guidance and direction, like good examples of how to behave as adults, which I know in New Mexico there aren't, because everybody just does what they want. You know, that doesn't create vote for a healthy society when people there's no discipline. I only speak in terms of New Mexico because that's where I live. See, when I was in Oregon, same thing. Is how much do people regard for life? And if they have regard for life, are they finding other people that have regard for life? And what are they doing to boast the words, oh, I have regard for life? What are you talking about? Where's the pudding? What do you do to show that? Mom and I like to drive around and hand out water to homeless people because water's so hard to get for homeless people. And winter's right around the corner, and we're still not making places for people to stay out of the elements, you know. where I live, there, what was it? This is why I like, they make people pay for parking. And I just have to, like, in Taos, they want people to pay for parking, and I think it's so stupid because there's so much money in the state, yet the people don't know how to disperse it. Like, they don't know how to create, like, dude, fucking hand out money cards on the street, dude. Like, so New Mexico state investment accounts have ballooned to a record high of $64 billion. Understand, $64 billion, rekindling a long-running debate about how they should be put to use. Just like the military, because you had these people back in the 2000s that have these ideas of grandiosity and don't you know who we are. All military bases are, everything's an etch-a-sketch. You got people in charge and they're like, we want this building here. We want this to look this way. We're control freaks. So they build bunkers and they build buildings, okay? That's where all the money goes to. And then as long as people do that, and you comply with the wishes of your master, your bosses, they'll give you awards. They'll give you trinkets. This one was like, this was right under the base wide. I almost won base, but this is under it. So this is group. But in the maintenance group at this time, it was out of 1,800 airmen. So that set me apart. I won this award out of 18 airmen in a career field that only 335 women on the whole planet were in. So it's really hard for me to be around stupid people. I stay home a lot. And I don't look at stupid people as like void of intellect or intelligence. I just look at stupid people are the ones that allow themselves to get stuck in the same fucking loops to perpetuate society to be such a shitty place to the point that it is. And I'll start changing my mind when requests ways that I want to see in the world, that starts happening. When poor people start getting money just for having a fucking pulse. Not because they have anything to offer society, because I understand it. People like my brother that make $240,000 a year, these retired fucking officers that pull in between their retirement and fucking disability for doing jack shit, they're pulling in $15,000 upwards a month. Civilians don't know that. They don't look at pay scales. Like the whole when I was on the base, I was like, Mom, you grew up a single mom, single parent, freaking struggling so much. You didn't have food. Oftentimes, Mom didn't go. We were eating popcorn for dinner, Jello, shit like that. But fucking military installations all over the world get to go from here to there. So they're all paid vacations. They don't even pack up their own shit in their houses and move their own shit. There's departments that do that. They didn't test as high on the ASVAB test score, so they don't get the good gigs. It's just the imbalance of the greed and grossiosity of this nation. It's perpetuated to a place that is like it's in your face. They're doing pony shows. They do these things on air bases where there's all these work centers. There's like maintenance, and then there's within maintenance there's fabrication. There's like where the welders are. There's all these different departments, and they will take freaking the already understaffed departments and take personnel from each and every department, 1 or 2, 3 from each, and they would have these people just standing out next to the flight line, sometimes for hours, 2-3 hours. So when you think in terms of each, if you take 30 people and have 30 people standing out next to the runway for 3 hours, it's 900 man hours of wasted fucking time. That everybody's telling you everything's important when they say it's important. You know, and you know why they do that? It's so one of the planes that take off with the general in it, with the guests, because it's all fucking club. They all use everybody else's resources to do what they want. It's absurd. I used to work behind the show of freaking Offutt Air Force Base freaking air shows. Biggest crock of shit, most just bucketed misappropriation of funds, and while single parents all over the place are living unhoused. They can't feed their kids. So people can go, ooh, ah. That's America. So that's okay. So if everybody's going to celebrate all the wonderful things that America has to offer, let's just not forget about what the shadow sides of these things are. What America was founded on. A bunch of Freemasons. My family, on my grandma's side, that's where her influence came from. A man named Isaac, well, was in the room. They signed the Declaration of Independence. You know, all this privilege, all this nepotism that I've seen in my family, just to fucking know what, just for them to watch me fall on my face. Only to end up after mom was born. Just to be like disregarded again. That's hilarious. So, universe, if anything, has taught me and mom that you really can't rely on people like yourself. So we became very, very self-sufficient. So, you know, in the my primary purpose is mom's comfort and the critters. That is my primary purpose. And then I try to do like side gigs. I try to do stuff on the side to keep myself busy. One thing I like to do is I give my stickers. I print up stickers. I try to sell them, but people don't buy stuff very much. Where I try to sell them at. And I sell the t-shirt too. But these stickers. Where's one of my stickers, Ma? Ooh. I always did the rainbow like that way. And so, it says straight people like rainbows too. Got littler ones, so I like to give people those. I ask them first though, do you like stickers? Because people will deny you. Just because they like to take out your light. That's why I hate Torons, man. Can't stand Torons. They just travel around disconnected from people. Like, they just want to look at shit. They don't want to engage with you. And you're in a small town. Arizona. I'm hooked on phonics. I'm not trying to mispronounce your name. The lady on the speech bus taught me. A-E-I-O-U. That was a cool name, though. I don't know if I said it right or not, but that was a cool name. So yeah, New Mexico State Investment doesn't know what to do with $64 million. Ask people how they want to live and provide means for them to do so. We are in the USA. Right? Why can't, like, they can make TV shows where they can make you think that, like, you know, like Star Wars, right? But they can't create more communities for people just to not die from fucking heat exposure in the summer or cold exposure in the winter. It just doesn't make sense. And they aren't going to make it make sense. They're just going to keep making people go along with it. Because that's what people are trying to do. And all these kids now, people that don't have kids, like, people, I swear people have kids just to, I'm so glad I never had kids. People have kids like they're pets, right? Then they have an idea of what it's like to have a kid, not ever being around kids, knowing that kids have their own will and their own spirit, but they don't honor that, they stifle that. Like, if every parent was obligated to look at their child's birth chart and get an idea, like just like you may not believe it, but you're gonna watch that kid grow up and you're gonna refer to that, right? As to how they can potentially act. But it's also going to see red flags in their behavior that you need to be careful about. And my FYP, there's a lot of new, like, this is the year of the COVID shit, that gaslit by Uncle Sam crap. The whole world got gaslit. It was a great big old game of cooties that killed people. The deadliest game of cooties in history that I've been alive. So you got all these people that got shut in and they didn't get nothing else to do but, you know, chasing sensations. So now 5 years later, all these kids are in kindergarten. They don't know how to behave because their parents didn't teach them discipline. Like, people aren't taught right and wrong anymore. They're taught don't get caught. And that's evident by the behavior of how the youth how they choose to behave in New Mexico. When people are losing their lives because 16-year-olds are having a bad day and they're shooting people execution style, they need to have, like, family housing incarceration. Because mom, dad, and kid all need to be freaking on house arrest. Because you made that. You made that. You were responsible for that. And the kid is like, they think he's done it like 3-4 times, so he's a serial killer. They're void of spirit because they grew up playing Grand Theft Auto. So, oh look, you play it on TV, let's do this shit in real life because they're disconnected from spirit. All people are taught to do is whatever they want to do. That ideology, that thinking gets warped. That's why they have pity parties, because things escalate. People's behaviors escalate. There's modifiers that people have to verify that their personality is evolving towards ego and away from spirit. That's causing harm to others. That's alcohol, drug abuse. There's people in this state, they got like 8 DUIs because the legal system, everybody's fucking cousin, so everybody gets off, everybody gets out of something because, hey, remember when we were teenagers and I did you that favor and I didn't tell you, so let my fucking ego out of this shit. That's what society's about, covering up for the asshole. I can't tell you how many fucking dudes bullied me that are now cops. And then I went into the military, and then my story unraveled the frequency of how they are all the same. They create the person, the ideology, and they give them an environment where that asshole can grow, and that's security forces. That's like wherever whenever you have a group that you say, hey, come join us, you can kill people. That's contrary to what this life is about. This life is about creating, thriving, evolving. It's not about making weapons of destruction that turn people into a fucking hamburger. That's not what the world is about, but you have these lizard minds and whatever, that have perpetuated the Roman, all this crap, this whole, dude, stop doing it like that. Yet, here we go. Football season's rearing up again. You lose how many people are just tuned out to, and numbers flipping. Numbers, stats changing. First time down. One game being played 1,000 ways, and people just get sucked in and do nothing else. Because when they were younger, they had a good time with somebody that they cared about, that they don't have in their lives anymore. So they want to reenact that good feeling. appeal to emotion, and that's stupid. We're supposed to evolve past things. I used to watch football. I used to hang out with people, watch Super Bowl, stuff like that. Woo! And until I grew up and figured out all the other things that were more important. Car show, same thing. Like, people that get stuck in these fucking patterns. They're doing, you check in with them that you haven't seen in 20 years, they're still doing the fucking same shit. Nothing useful. Going around from bar to bar singing karaoke. That's your job? That's how you pay your bills? Because I got my karaoke speaker. And I got my 2 microphones. So I'm going to be having pop-up karaoke all over Taos County. You know, just show up, be like, hey, you want to sing? Because it makes people feel better. And I'm all about making people feel better. Because so many people feel bad. They're going around causing harm to other people. Because like attracts like. And they want people to feel bad like them. I've been that person. Some days, like, I wanted to go out today. I said, Marge, no. After yesterday, shut the fuck up. Your ass is grounded, right? Because I want to do what I want to do, but it's not good for everybody. And then, because, like, my body is just so broke. Like, just like that, like, I'm losing my hearing. These don't go up loud enough. I can't have these. I want them loud. I wonder if I would ever be willing to get implants on the inside of my head just because I want to listen to music as loud as I can. I don't think I would. God don't make dirt. You don't mess with. God don't make junk. You don't mess with God made you. How God made you. So, yeah, I'm losing my hearing. The good news is, as soon as I could figure out how to get my hearing test and not have to drive an hour and a half to do it, as soon as I do that, that'll bump me up. So I'm all of a sudden, like, my body is just broke. I am all of a sudden less handy-capable, more handicapped. Not because my mind doesn't want to, it's because my body says, nope, fuck you. So I've never been in alignment with those type people that have been like, all you have to, Jesus will save your body, he'll heal you in a second. And I'm like, well, he's had plenty of seconds in my 51 years, and he hasn't taken that opportunity yet. So I'm going to just go ahead and think that he's busy with other people. So I got to take care of myself, you know? Like, how many people wouldn't get a paycheck if people just took care of themselves? You know it? How many people would not have to get paid because the collective around them took care of themselves? See, I learned a long time ago, you got to take care of yourself, because going to the doctor for us was like 5-6 hours, because we were the poor people, so all the important people got seen way before us. I found this out much later in life after I became a part of the military so I could get a college degree, a couple of them, almost a few, and then I stopped because I realized it's all bullshit. You don't gotta have no education, you just gotta have the right cousin. You don't gotta know what you're doing at the job, you just gotta know the hiring manager and be in good favor with them. See, that's why there's not ever jobs for people that are qualified, because there's so many people that aren't qualified sitting in the chairs of the people that are. And that's created an imbalance. Because people want people around them that are like them. They want people around them that are like them. They want people around them that are going to, oh yeah, let's all go to Vegas to they're not even conferencing in Vegas anymore. Sin City is absolving. I was there 11 years ago. That was my only Vegas experience. It's not my bag. It's not my cup of tea. It's Sin City. That's not what I'm about. I'm about good orderly direction. And I always, I went to AA meetings with people that fucking went there annually twice buy, like they, oh, it's our Vegas trip, time over Vegas, 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 and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what's it, like, what, you know? What is it about that it's appealing to that you're just gonna walk around and really? Although I think Kelly Clarkson just came across my radar. She seems kind of cool, but I don't think I would ever go back to Vegas. I have no reason to, because Vegas isn't even what it was 11 years ago. It's entirely different. Like the landscape has changed, and I took a lot of pictures when I was there. That was when I went floating down Grand Canyon. That was a fun trip. That was almost the trip, fun as the trip I went to see the Mayan ruins in Tulum. That's the same latitude as Crete, so 2 times I was on the 20th latitude. See, like attracts like, so you tune into the latitude and longitude on Earth, where your frequency is being summoned to. You have people that are born and raised. That creates things like the Taos hum. Like we just did that idea. We just do it like this because of how it's always done. It's changing. It's changing. It's breaking. It's changing. It's growing so big every time I drive through the nature, the back roads. There's a new house. There's a new mobile home. There's a new trailer. There's the landscape changes. That's how the world changes all the time. The world is always changing. You know, I just want to see the world change where it benefits more people. I want to see, like, not portal. I want to see like laundry facilities. Like, I want to see money obsolete. Basically, that's what I want to see. If it didn't exist, and currency is what you can contribute to your community. And then you can rack up currency based on that. If you want to go to another community and see how you can add to their community, then maybe that community will invite you there, and then you can share what you did in your community to make it better. It seems like that makes more sense. I don't know. I probably won't see these things come to fruition. I just keep talking about it because creating a reality that would be cool for the young babies that are being born now and my nieces and nephews. Because one day I'm not going to be here in the world. I want to see, like, whatever happens to them, whatever struggles that they have, that there's going to be a place that can greet them to help them stop in the progression of their disease. So even if I don't get to know them in this life, they can't ever say I didn't love them. That's about all I got for now. Hope you have a great day. Peace.